Hi, I'm Deborah and I'm here with Scarecrow. We've been celebrating Harvest Festival, but Scarecrow's a bit upset. Shall we see what's wrong? Harvest is normally my favourite time of year, but this year I have so much food but no one to share it with. I wish I had a friend to share all this lovely food. I'm sorry, Scarecrow. You're right, having friends makes a big difference. Tell you what, let's see what I can do. I'll see if I can have you a friend. 1 minute. Oh, thank you, Deborah. That would be great. Why don't I use some of my craft things to see if we can actually make you a lady friend. Let's see. I have a stick. I have lots of felt. The first thing, we're going to need something to put our stick into. I'm just going to put that in there for a minute because I want to see how much space we have. And I'll use my measuring tape to just see. We want to sort of have our Scarecrow no bigger than 10 centimetres. So let's put that to one side. And I think we'll use our pink felt, and I'll just use a pencil. We'll just draw a bit of an outline. So before I start drawing, the other thing that I've done is I've folded over a piece of the felt because I want 2 outlines for our Scarecrow. So I'm going to do a head, just faintly across. And then she needs a body with 2 arms. And then we know our legs are going to finish about here. So, and this is just to get an idea. It doesn't need to be exact. It's just to get an idea of where you want to cut. So I'm going to start cutting out our shape, but I'm going to do 2 together because we want to have matching shapes, and you'll see why in a minute. So let's see. And we're just going to use the kind of outline that we did as our guide. Down the second arm. Okay, so now we have 2 identical shapes. Look, Scarecrow, this is going to be your new friend. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the side that we had the drawing on, that's going to be on the inside. So just put the shapes back together but have the pencil on the inside. And now we're going to need some of this. This can be a bit fiddly, so you might need some help with this, but it's worth it. Okay, so let's start to sew up. I'm going to start down the bottom. We're going to just go up all the way around and we're going to leave a hole down the bottom. Now sewing takes quite a lot of practice, but it's something really useful to learn. So I would recommend getting an adult to help you and learning how to do it, because once you know how to sew, you can make all kinds of things. You can make a little purse for yourself. So when we sew things together, we're basically making sure that they are attached to one another. We're just being very careful with our needle because we don't want to prick ourselves and hurt ourselves. I finished sewing, and you'll see I've left a hole at the bottom. So we have 2 options. You can now turn her inside out if you want to hide your stitches, but also so we can stuff her. So I'm actually going to turn mine inside out. So this is why we have the hole at the bottom. So when you're sewing, it's always good to try and use a colour thread that matches your fabric, because then it doesn't show as much. Unless of course you have really, really, really great sewing techniques and you want it to show, then you can make it different contrast, but mine is okay. Now we've got the shape of our Scarecrow. Now we need to stuff her. So you can use felt, you could use all kinds of things. I'm going to try to use some of these. You want to start with your arms and things to make sure that they are filled up. So it's easier to do your arms first. So they are all filled up. And so you could use all kinds of things to stuff. You could actually make one of these and fill it with rice, use it for a doorstop. So I think we've probably got enough stuffing in there. And what I'm going to do, you want to stop before you get to the bottom because you need to actually sew this up. So now you just sew the bottom up. So this time we're still sewing two sides together, but we're sewing it slightly differently. Now you'll notice I haven't done legs on her. That's only because she's a girl, and so we're going to be putting a dress on her. If you wanted to do a boy, you could do legs. That's up to you. But you can do however you want. I think she would look lovely with a bright yellow dress. So let's put her on there and let's measure out a dress for her. So we know it needs to come to here. There. The sleeves. I'm just measuring out roughly where we want to cut, and this just helps so that we know what shape we're going for. Okay, so now we're just going to do double, and we're just going to cut the size dress out, and you can go a little bit wider because she's going to need coverage, so we need to make it a little bit bigger than we think it needs to be. You can always go smaller later. So Scarecrow, we're getting there. We're just going to make some clothes for your new friend. And what we're going to do, I'm going to cheat a little bit here because I'm actually going to glue on her dress. It might take a little bit of time, but it's worth just spending a little bit of time on this to get it to look nice. She wants to look her best. So, okay. So, back of her dress. Now, one dress for our Scarecrow, but again, a little bit plain. So let's give her an apron. So we're just going to cut out a little apron shape, and just again, just glue it on the back there. If you had a really nice button, you could put a button there on the back of her apron, like so. And she needs a pocket. Pop them like that. And again, I'm just going to glue those on. We're starting to get there, but I think you might notice we're missing some important features. In fact, we're missing a face. So let's do that, shall we?
Yes, it would be good if she had eyes to see me, and a mouth so she can help me eat my food.
You're right, Scarecrow. We need to make sure she can actually eat the lovely juice that you have there. Now you could do it any way you want in terms of the eyes. You could draw her eyes on. So I'm just going to use a tiny bit of felt, a little offcut almost, for the nose. Okay. Now, Scarecrow, she's missing something really important. Hair. Do you mind if I use some of this? So now it's autumn, I think she could do with something to keep her head warm. So let's make a little hat type thing. I'm just going to use a bit of folded material. paperclip. Okay, so I think we're going to put some gloves on her. And if you have old toys that have outfits, you could borrow those, couldn't you? Last but not least, a nice little flower. So now let's get the stick. I'm just going to put her through the back, just careful so you don't damage her dress. There we go. She's ready to meet Scarecrow. Scarecrow, I have a friend for you. Ooh, I can't wait to meet her. Hi Scarecrow, I'm Missy Scarecrow. Lovely to meet you. Can we be friends? Oh, absolutely. Would you like some of my Harvest Festival food? Oh, food, my favourite. I'd love to, thank you. Brilliant. Thanks, Deborah. I'm so much happier now. No problem, Scarecrow. I hope you enjoy your time with Missy. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye.